Now, just 3 months into the year 2011, there have been 6 traffic-related fatalities on Guam's roads, and in a matter of just 2 weeks, 4 of those fatalities occurred. Now, in an effort to keep our roads safe, Operation Blue Fire was launched. Joining me in studio is GPD's Captain Paul Suba. Cap, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so of course, Operation Blue Fire isn't a new thing. It actually happened a while ago. So maybe briefly describe the history behind this operation.
Right. Well, back in 2001, Chief Ed Cabina at that time was concerned, just as this chief is now. There was a rising trend in traffic fatalities. Back then, there were a number of crashes as well, 10,000 annually, with 20 to 30 deaths on the island's roads. With the implementation of Operation Blue Fire, which comprised everyone on the island's concerted effort, particularly law enforcement and the other leadership on the island, we saw a decrease. In that 1 year that we started that operation, we saw a drop to 7 fatalities versus the 20 to 30 that normally happened over a 10-year period prior to that.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's the effort of GPD to really enforce the laws on the roadway and really crack down on people for things like speeding, reckless driving.
Mostly those that have caused death or serious injury, but it's not just GPD's role and responsibility. We're reaching out, as we did back then 10 years ago, to the other law enforcement agencies on island, airport police, port police, and even the marshals. Everyone that's empowered to enforce the laws. Mm-hmm. And then we're going beyond that role to the community leaders like the mayors, the village mayors, other leaders within the community that can educate and send the message to the community, particularly our friends, brothers and sisters from the Micronesian islands. Even before they come here, they need to be aware of the difference between the roadways that they are used to there, wherever there may be, and what they're going to expect here. We have an increase in auto pedestrians, and most of them, sad to say, are among the Micronesian community. Mm-hmm. They're trying to traverse 4 to 7 lanes sometimes, and sometimes they're doing it at night in areas that aren't lit. And what compounds it is if they're intoxicated or the motorist is intoxicated. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the goals? Obviously it's to keep Guam's roads safer and to cut down on the incidences, as you say, but has the program evolved now in its new version?
Well, the evolution is obviously we have better technology and some equipment that has been provided through grants, Office of Highway Safety and National Highway Safety Transportation, and you see newer patrol cars coming on board with laptop computers, hopefully. And so what we're looking at is not only getting the word out through the media and through the village meetings, but then using that equipment to better help us not only to do the enforcement, but then to calculate and determine. We're doing things still kind of manually where we should be doing it with the technology, identifying, and we have some maps here that show location, so we can focus our energy, our effort, with the shortage of resource, maximize that effort by putting the officers where they're needed during the times when these events occur.
Okay, now I know you've actually got some illustrations, so maybe, and it's a historical account I can see, so maybe if you can describe what years you're actually detailing and how the roadway concerns have changed.
Well, we've utilized these old tourist maps, but as you can see, just using that alone, identifying where the fatalities have occurred, these help us to show the community and other people that are interested visually. Numbers are one thing, but when you actually see locations, they can see for themselves that, like in 2008, there were 8 fatalities. The majority were from the central area of the island up north. And we can also determine exactly which routes. Mm-hmm. And so specifically, Route 1 from Naval Station to Anderson, throughout even back a decade ago, mm-hmm. has always been the #1 location mm-hmm. for the most traffic fatalities. Obviously, because it's a longer stretch of road, there's more lanes, people tend to use it at a higher speed.
Moderately speaking, these are also straight shot roads.
These are straight shot roads. So you don't see the crashes when there's high congestion. They're usually minimal damage, fender benders.
How about in 2009? How did it change?
2009, it played out pretty similarly, but they were more, again, they're continuing to rise in the northern end of the island. You did see 2 down south, one in Agate and one in Talafofo.
Right.
But again, that's a rare situation. Even though there are more winding roads down south, the people are very much aware of what hazards they face. Up north, you have a mix of so many groups of people that are taking that chance, and they're not considering what we're saying.
Okay.
So many of the listeners and viewers are aware of this already, but there are people out there that don't have a TV, read the newspaper, and even if they do, they don't comprehend what we're trying to get across.
Okay, and then lastly, I can see in the year 2010, we got to wrap up here real quickly.
That's
so
right.
With about 30 seconds left, I see maybe some of the eastern portion of the island had some incidents.
That's correct. And then this year, you can see, I don't have 2011, but it's all within a quarter-mile area or a half-mile on Route 1 in Agania up to Tamuning. And then, of course, the one in Manila that just was out of the ordinary.
Okay, so maybe just wrap it up in a nutshell. What should motorists on island know about the Guam Police being out there and how they're enforcing the laws, and like what to look for about our boys in blue?
Well, make sure that you won't have to worry about the boys in blue if you follow all the basic rules of safety. Wear your seatbelt, check your vehicle for safety, plan your trip, and drive according to the speed. You'll enjoy your trip. You'll also get there safer.
Right.
But you also got to watch out for the other person that might come across the median. And so by going the speed limit, you can adjust to hopefully steer out of the way to safety.
All right.